Good evening and welcome. You're watching Headlines Now. First, the top headlines. Ex-cop targets Sharad Pawar and family for Lavasa scam. She says he's surprised why Kejriwal chose not to reveal the details. Sharad Pawar refutes allegations saying Lavasa was following all rules floated by Maharashtra government. Shunted IAS officer from Haryana meets Chief Secretary of the state and says he's satisfied with the answers of the government on his transfer. Cabinet Secretary at the time of the 2G scam reveals he favoured the entry fee for the players, which would have increased the revenue to the government. The BCCI wins the legal battle against the Deccan charges. The Bombay High Court dismisses stay on the ban. The Lance Armstrong woes continue as Nike terminates contract with the athlete after dropping the scam. After 3 different press conferences where he claims to have outed corrupt politicians, today it was Arvind Kejriwal's turn to be judged. Retired police officer and lawyer activist YP Singh said Mr. Kejriwal had repressed a mega scam starring Sharad Pawar and set in the controversial hill town of Lavasa, being built near Pune over 25,000 acres at a reported cost of Rs 3,000 crores. Singh alleged that Pawar's nephew and former state deputy chief minister Ajit Pawar granted 341 acres to Lake City Corporation on 30 years lease at just Rs 23,000 per month. The reason that the government was so generous with the deal, he said, is because Mr. Pawar's daughter Supriya and her husband Sadanand Sule held 20% stake in the company. In 2006, Mr. Singh says Ms. Sule and her husband sold their stake in the company that would morph into the Lavasa Corporation. Mr. Singh alleged that Lavasa reaped more windfalls when in 2009, Sharad and Ajit Pawar ordered senior bureaucrats to rule in favor of the request from the Lavasa Corporation, which allowed the firm to add several floors to its building plans.
महाराष्ट्र कृष्णा वैली डेवलपमेंट कॉर्पोरेशन का जो लैंड था, जिसके अध्यक्ष जो है अजीत पवार हैं, उन्होंने ये जमीन 348 एकड़ जमीन मात्र 23,000 रुपए में मुंबई में एक एसआरए की जो रिहैबिलिटेशन की जगह है, उसका 1 बेडरूम का जो छोटा घर है, वो भी जो है 23,000 रुपए महीने में नहीं मिलता है। 23,000 रुपए महीने में इन्होंने 348 एकड़ जमीन, लवासा जैसी बहुमूल्य जमीन, बिना किसी पब्लिक ऑक्शन के सुप्रीम कोर्ट के ऑर्डर का खुला उल्लंघन करते हुए लेक सिटी कॉर्पोरेशन को दी। उसकी यदि ओनरशिप देखी जाए तो 10.4% सुप्रिया सुले के नाम पे रहेगा और 10.4% जो है ये उनके हस्बैंड सदानंद सुले के नाम पे जाएगा। ये अजीत पवार ने अपनी चचेरी बहन को और उनके हस्बैंड को 348 एकड़ जमीन, जो कानून के हिसाब से सुप्रीम कोर्ट के ऑर्डर के हिसाब से उसका नीलाम होना चाहिए था, मुफ्त में उन्होंने इनको इनके बिजनेस पर्पस के लिए, इनके कमर्शियल पर्पस के लिए दे दी।
Activist politician Arvind Kejriwal was compared to Adolf Hitler by former IPS officer YP Singh. He also said he was surprised that Mr. Kejriwal, despite knowing about this alleged land scam, chose to keep silent about it and instead chose to make frivolous allegations against the BJP chief Nitin Gadkari.
गडकरी के खिलाफ एक कानूनी रूप से गलत इंटरप्रिटेशन निकाल के ये केस को जो उन्होंने एक सेंसेशनलाइज किया है और इतना बड़ा केस छोड़ दिया है, तो मुझे ऐसा प्रतीत होता है कि उन्होंने ये समीकरण देखा होगा कि दिल्ली में अगला इलेक्शन है, दिल्ली में कांग्रेस स्ट्रांग है, दिल्ली में बीजेपी स्ट्रांग है, कांग्रेस को कलंकित कर दिया, अगर बीजेपी को भी कलंकित कर दिया तो काफी कुछ दिल्ली का वोट उनके पास आ जाएगा। शायद यही मंशा से इन्होंने इतना छोटा केस इतना बड़ा कर दिया और इतना बड़ा पहाड़ जैसा केस जो है उन्होंने उसको
Arvind Kejriwal has taken on critics including the BJP, who said this expose of the party president Nitin Gadkari has been baseless. Yesterday, after Mr. Kejriwal and his supporters publicly declared that Mr. Gadkari had grabbed land and water in Maharashtra from some of the poorest farmers in the country, the BJP president described the allegations as chillar or small change. Kejriwal retorted that what has been revealed so far against Mr. Gadkari is the tip of the iceberg. He said it might be a small change for Gadkari, but it is not so for the farmers who lost their land and water, and that's why they're committing suicide. IAS officer Ashok Kimda was transferred just days after ordering a probe into Robert Vadra's land deals with DLF met Haryana's Chief Secretary PK Chowdhury. He said he was satisfied with the reasons given for his transfer after the meeting. The Haryana government questioned Khemka's motive for ordering probe into the land deal. Khemka said that if his decision to cancel rupees 58 crore land deal between Sonia Gandhi's son-in-law Mr. Vadra and the real estate giant DLF was thought to be incorrect by the Haryana government, then they should go to the court.
मैं चीफ सेक्रेटरी के जवाब से पूर्ण रूप से संतुष्ट हूं। उन्होंने ये कहा कि ट्रांसफर प्रशासकीय हित में हुआ है और इसमें कोई बुरा अंदेश नहीं है और मैं अपने चीफ सेक्रेटरी की बात को सहर्ष स्वीकार करता हूं। एक ऑर्डर पास किया है, उस ऑर्डर फाइनल है स्टेट गवर्नमेंट के उससे। अगर टीसी गुप्ता जी को लगता है कि वो ऑर्डर गलत है तो proper course is to go in a writ petition in the High Court. That is the lawful remedy. And I hope if the government thinks that my order is wrong, the two parties, Skylight and DLF, have not considered my order to be wrong. Any aggrieved party or the government, if they think that my order suffers from any infirmity, they are free to approach the Honorable High Court in a writ jurisdiction under Article 226 of the Constitution.
Because the uncalled for observations have been made against Town Country Planning Department in the order dated 15th of October 2012 of Dr. Khemka. He was not authorized to comment on that. It was not in his domain. And there are factual inaccuracies, legal infirmities, and there is a violation of administrative propriety in that order. And regarding that only, I have written to the Honorable Chief Secretary and requested him to refer this communication to the committee which has been constituted to look into the allegations made by Dr. Khemka. So let the entire thing be inquired into. My assertion is that LOI and license have been granted perfectly in accordance with law.
Meanwhile, BJP spokesperson Nirmala Sitharaman expressed dissatisfaction of the probe ordered by the Haryana government into the legality of actions taken by the officials. Following the row after the transfer of Ashok Khemka and added that the Congress had made a point to harass all the whistleblowers.
With so many charges coming up every day, we find that harassment of people who are raising questions on corruption is the hallmark of Congress. What is happening in Haryana? The official is being harassed. Earlier, what happened? Whether it is A, B, C, any individual who raised questions on corruption, they've all been put to some kind of a harassment.
A senior government official today emphasized that though the land deal between Robert Vadra and DLF was cancelled earlier this week, the commercial license that was the heart of the deal is still in Mr. Vadra's name, and this is in keeping with the rules. The head of the Haryana's Town and Country Planning Department, TC Gupta, said that because formalities have yet to be completed, the license has yet to be transferred to the DLF. He refuted allegations that the licensing guidelines have been skewed for Mr. Vadra. Congress leader Rahul Gandhi today met President Pranab Mukherjee amid speculation of a possible cabinet reshuffle. It was not immediately clear as to what transpired during the half-an-hour meeting. Prime Minister Manmohan Singh and Congress President Sonia Gandhi had recently met the President. Reports suggest that the cabinet reshuffle is likely at the end of the Shara. Even as the JPC committee looking into the 2G scam battle were calling P. Chidambaram to depose, the cabinet secretary at the time of the scam, KM Chandrasekhar, made some critical revelations today. Mr. Chandrasekhar said he had written to the Prime Minister that entry fee for the players wanting 2G telecom licenses could be increased up to 36,000 crore from the existing 1,651 crore. He had based the increase on growth in the market size as well as the tele density. In the letter dated November 26, 2007, the former cabinet secretary had recommended to the Prime Minister that the revenues could be increased. But he also added in the letter that this is a policy decision. Interestingly, he also told the JPC that the controversial note suggesting that the then Finance Minister P. Chidambaram could have prevented the 2G scam by insisting on auction. An advocate has filed a defamation suit against the TV Today chairman and MD Arun Puri and others for damages to Law Minister Salman Khurshid's wife Louise Khurshid. Louis Khurshid has claimed initial damages of rupees 1 crore. According to TV Today report, the Union Social Welfare and Empowerment Ministry granted rupees 71.5 lakh to Khurshid's NGO Zakir Hussain Memorial Trust for distributing tricycles and hearing aids to the disabled in the 17 districts of Uttar Pradesh. The group, in a sting operation, said the NGO forged signatures of senior officials in several districts of the state to deprive the physically challenged who were eligible for grants under the scheme.
From the government. So, 1 second. So then we wrote that.
Meanwhile, the Lucknow bench of the Allahabad High Court issued notice to TV Today directing to produce entire documents relating to NGO run by Union Law Minister Salman Khurshid. The order was issued after a PIL was filed by an RTA activist. The PIL was filed on Monday seeking direction for lodging an FIR and also monitoring by the court in the case of trust run by Law Minister Salman Khurshid. More news and updates will follow after this break. Stay tuned.